Hey guys, this is Mr. H. Hey, I'm going to do a couple examples of linear regressions that show up on the Algebra 1 Regents exam. There's a couple things that I've changed that I want my students to know how to use. So I'm just going to do two examples and kind of show you the new differences that I've incorporated. So let me jump in. All right, so what you see on my screen is I put this on Delta Math, but these questions came directly from the Algebra 1 past region. So it says the table below shows the amount of money a popular movie earned in millions of dollars for the first 6 weeks. And they have a table of values, right? And so they want you to write a linear regression equation for this data. And they want you to round the values to the nearest 100. And then they want you to state what the correlation coefficient is to the nearest 100. And then they want you to indicate what the correlation coefficient means. So I'm going to show you what you need to do with the calculator, and then I'm going to show you the new changes. All right, so first thing, let me grab the calculator. Now, I've already entered the data for this one. Okay, so one of the things I would say is that when students miss this question, a lot of times it's because they haven't entered the data in properly. They've made some careless mistakes. So always double check your numbers. So let me make this larger so I can make sure that everything looks good. 185, 150, 90, 50, okay, that looks good. Let me go back. Yeah, 150, 90, 50, 25, and then 5. All right, so now, from here, by the way, in order to get this, you're just gonna go to the spreadsheet from the home screen, right? You go to the spreadsheet, and then once you've done the spreadsheet, you are going to go to the purple data and statistics. So you're going to see blue dots. All you're going to do now is you're going to put the x-axis down here, you're going to put the y-axis here, and you're going to see this kind of straight line. It may not be perfectly straight, which it never is actually. So but you know it's a linear regression because they told us that. So we're just going to do menu 461, 461, and it gives you the equation. Now, if you need to round it, you would go to the settings and you would change it. So they want this rounded to the nearest 100. It's already set for the nearest 100. But if it weren't, you would go to menu, you would go to settings, and then you would change this to fix whatever you need. Fix 2, fix 1, fix 0, fix 3, whatever it is, okay? It's fixed, not float. It's fix 2, fix 1, fix 3, whatever. So in this case, we want rounded to the hundreds. That's 2 decimal places, so we said fix 2. So that's our answer. So that's the first thing we're going to key in. It's going to be y equals, where did my calculator go? Why did it leave me? Because I didn't put that here. All right, so it's going to be y equals, and then it is a negative 37.57 x, and then we have plus $215.67. All right, so that's the equation. Now, they want the correlation coefficient. So now here's the difference that I want you guys to see. Now, so let me make this larger so that you can see exactly what I'm doing that's different. All right, from here, we're going to go back to the home screen, and then we're going to go to the main calculator page. Now, this is what I want you to start. This key here, the variable key. So whenever you run a regression, it creates a bunch of variables that keep data in it. So this represents the y-intercept. This represents the slope. This is the correlation coefficient. This will keep the equation. There's a bunch of stuff here, but this is what we want for this. We want stat R. That's the correlation coefficient. Now, when I press enter, you see it's not rounded. Now, we want to round this to the hundreds place. That means 2 decimals. So I'm going to go back here. Now, I made a video. I'll make a link to it on how to round. So we're going to do menu 281. And then you just type in or copy the number. And then comma. And since we want 2 decimals, we put 2 in here, and then you press enter. Boom, that's our answer. So that is what goes. I can make this smaller again. that's what goes in here. So it'll be a negative 0.98. And then, so that's close to a negative dollar. So that means it's going to be strong, but negative. So the closer you are to a dollar or a negative dollar, the stronger you are. So this would be strong negative. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to submit this, and it says wonderful job. Now, I'm going to do one more. Let's see, this one. So this is another question that was taken. This was taken from one of the more recent Regents exams. And what we have here is we got the age of drivers and the annual cost of insurance. Now, anyone who's driven or drives knows that younger drivers have more accidents. So as you get older, you should become a better driver, which means that the amount of insurance that you need or you pay for should go down. So this is going to be a negative correlation. Just thought you should know that. Now, so let's go get the calculator. Now, I've already entered the data for this. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, here. So again, the only thing that you should do is just make sure that all of the data is correct, because if it's not, then everything else is off. 1332, 1284, 1320, 1200, 1188, and then 600. Okay, everything looks good over here. So now I'm going to do what I did before. I'm going to go to the home screen. I'm going to go to data statistics. This is the x-axis. This is the y-axis. And then, now this doesn't look perfectly linear. It never is, but it's linear because they told us it's a linear regression. So it's going to be menu 461. Now here's the equation. Again, I already have it set to round to hundreds place, so I don't need to change anything. All I have to do now is just type in the equation. Y equals a negative. Why does it keep popping away? I didn't want it gone. Okay. So this is going to be a negative, what is it? $56.97. And then we put an X there. And then plus $2,352.22. Yeah, so that's the equation. We've got that. Now we need to do the correlation coefficient. That's the second part, and we're rounding it to the hundreds place. So it's going to be 2 decimals. So we go back to the home screen. We're going to go to the main calculator. Remember, whenever you run a regression, it creates a bunch of variables. Now we want the correlation coefficient. So if you press here, let me show you something real quick. I just want to make sure everyone understands what I'm saying. So like, we know the slope is a negative 56.97. Now, if I go here and click on M, that's going to have the slope, but it's not going to be rounded. It's going to have all of those decimals. So if I go here, boom, you see a negative 56.968, blah, 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 blah. Now, if you needed to round this to whatever decimal, you could do menu 281, put this number in, and then comma 2. But the calculator, we've already kind of done that over here, so we don't have to do it here. But for the correlation coefficient, we're just going to come here, we're going to get R, press enter. It's not rounded, so we want to round it to the 2 decimals. So we just go up here, copy this number, put a comma, you need a comma, and then 2 decimal places. Boom, so it's negative. This one is also a negative 98 cents. So both of them, that wasn't intentional. But it's going to be, again, it's going to be a strong negative correlation. So double check your equation, double check your correlation coefficient, and now we're ready to go. Now this is how you do it. These are 4-point questions. All it basically is you got to type the data in and make sure you round it properly. You got to find the correlation, make sure you round it properly, and then just state, is it strong negative, strong positive? That's usually the 2 choices, and that's 4 points. So we got to get these points. We shouldn't leave any of them on the table, all right? If you have any questions, let me know, but that's it. Linear regressions are basically plug and play. All right, I'm going to stop and post.